You've been involved in this since the very beginning, fighting for scrutiny and perhaps consequences for Brett Kavanaugh. Some on the right, they respond by saying, oh, you guys, you would say that about any nominee. You guys are gonna somehow conjure, several dozen women with allegations of sexual assault, no matter who it is. What do you think about that argument that the right is pushing?
I mean, I didn't go in and interrupt the nomination of Gorsuch.
That's a good point.
I had a lot of angry feelings about that because I felt like Merrick Garland was denied his seat on the court, and then they bring in Gorsuch. But I wasn't. There weren't women coming forward alleging him of wrongdoings. We were unhappy about it, and that's not the nominee I would have liked. But you didn't see women protesting and people coming forward with allegations of sexual assault.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you would expect that was only a couple of years ago. People should be able to remember that. Not to mention the fact that, of course, George W. Bush got 2 people on the Supreme Court. The Democrats weren't inventing sexual assaults back then either. But that sort of gets us into, oh, did you have something you want to say?
I was gonna say also, like, when you're talking about people coming forward and victims of sexual assault, I mean, that the default answer is like, oh, you're just doing that for political reasons. Part of this whole like Me Too movement is believing survivors to the point that you at least investigate what they say. No one's saying that someone says something and so you trash somebody's career, but someone brings up an allegation of a crime and you investigate it. That's what we're asking for.
Yeah, exactly. And the claims that some of these women are doing it, they're just doing it for self-interested reasons. Yeah, like with hindsight, we can totally say that Christine Blasey Ford, she's really benefited from being dragged through the national media. This has been a big winner for her in terms of publicity and money. I mean, it's just absurd.
I mean, she has nothing to gain, which is obvious from the result. And this woman that Max Stier, the claims that came out in the New York Times over the weekend that Max Stier brought up, and the woman who says she doesn't remember, I mean, part of me thinks, of course you don't remember. Why would you say anything about this after what you've seen happen to Christine Blasey Ford?
Yeah, let alone the fact that she might have blocked the memory. That's often a thing that happened. That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. But again, an investigation would get to that, but they don't,
exactly.
They don't want that. And so that's the last point that I want to touch on is the arguments that we've seen whenever virtually anyone makes a claim of a sexual assault or sexual harassment against a powerful person. It feels like the right feels very emboldened to simply say, it doesn't matter how many women you have. A woman saying something happened means literally nothing. It counts for nothing. And so what do you think about, if you agree, I don't want to speak for you, but the precedent being set where a woman's testimony is effectively not important?
Well, I mean, that's what's happened with this case. And I just feel like as a woman who's watching my government and my judicial system, part of why I don't like this president is because women have come forward with claims of sexual assault over and over again. And it's starting to feel like it's starting to feel like isn't extreme, but it feels like our voices don't matter. Our allegations aren't listened to. Our bodies aren't safe. I mean, that's why I stood up. I mean, it's really hard to continue to be silent.
Of course.
So I'm not.
Of course, and especially considering that for any woman, but especially a woman very much in the public eye, to do so means that you will be attacked constantly. I appreciate you doing that, Piper.
Thanks.
And once again, thank you for joining us on the show. Always good to get your commentary.
Thanks for talking about it, John. I really appreciate it.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.